Hey, welcome back to Power by 8 Racing YouTube channel. So today I'm going to just do a couple quick installs. I'm going to install a Motec 150 mount and PDM 15 mount. That'll go on the passenger side trans tunnel. And then I am also going to mount the Braille battery aluminum mount. Let me get my box of goodies here, and I have a aluminum mount. This is also going to go on the passenger side, but on by the door. It's not on the trans tunnel. If I can get this open with one hand. So it's just a basic box. So this has six bolts that will get rib nutted. This has 4 bolts that'll get rib nutted. And then there'll be some isolation rubber things with some rib nuts on it. All right, let's get in the car.
Power by 8.
All right, so I'm gonna mount this right about here. Now, I'm gonna leave a little bit of space on the top, enough for some cable management to go on top of this ledge. And also I'm going to make sure that I miss these spot welds, because it's gonna be thick plating there. So I should be able to go right above and below those spot welds, and then we'll put some rib nuts there. So I'm gonna basically hold it here. I'm gonna do my first hole. Let's see if I can't tap that, and then hopefully that means the mark. All right, so there's our mark. Let's just get it started a little bit. And then we will know how I like my lube. All right, so that's our first one. And got my little level. Let's make sure that we get this nice. And now we will stick the mount on. This is going to come back off obviously once the PDM and the M150 get in, but we'll just keep it on the car for now. I have this urge to put LEDs behind that. I think it would be kind of funny. That way when I go to shows, my show car, Alright, so there's that one. We'll move on to the battery. Somewhere about right here we'll put the battery. And so what I'm going to do is the top row, just because this is a little bit flexy, I'm going to do the top row, then I'm going to get the battery and see where I'll put the battery in, and then I'll mark my bottom holes, just because I'm not sure yet where or how loose this needs to be versus the battery, just because of the flex of it. So we'll do the top row first. So I'll do the first one, level it out, mark the second hole, do that one, and then see where we are with it. All right. All right, so got the battery. This is a Braille lithium, 5 pound, I think it's 5.5 pounds. So it's gonna sit pretty much right here. All right, so that's where it's gonna sit. So now we just need to get the bottom in. And so the one thing that you want to be careful for is right back here, there's a hump that comes out and in. The battery really needs to sit right up against that. I might be about 1 millimeter onto it. So if anything, I might have to clearance it just so that the battery will sit straight. I'm going to find out in a little bit. There we go. So I'm going to be good to go. Battery's going to sit right on top of that. And it's going to sit nice and flat. And we'll be good to go there. So no complaints there. I'm going to mark my bottom holes and then we'll get to drilling. And then the other little bit of play, but it came with some foam to help pad it, probably stick it behind it, push it forward, and it'll keep it in there nice and tight. That's where the battery will go. Alright, so there's the battery. It's hanging up there. We've got the Motec and PDM mount. So the Motec will go here, PDM will go here. That's obviously going to be for the pump. That's going to be for our fluid reservoir. We've got the steering wheel, or not the steering wheel, but the C127, the instrument cluster, the dash mounts there. I made a little bit of an extension for that. We've got our pedals in. We have all the fittings in for brakes and the clutch, and we've got our brakes there. All right, so now that that's done, we've pretty much got everything ready for some more parts to come in. I'm going to start putting the driver's side systems together, get the steering rack in, or the steering column in, get the seat in, and the driver's side of everything should be pretty much done here in the next day. And then once we get the engine, all the harness and stuff in, then we'll start running wires to where they need to go and press forward from there. All right, back to the interior series. I was going to just do the battery and the Motec mount and cut it off there, but I got the Keypad in, so I'm going to include that into an interior episode. So what I've got here is this. This goes to the roll bar. This goes right in front of the shifter. And I'm not going to do the bottom yet. I'll probably drill these 2 holes, but I'm not going to attach it to the trans tunnel yet. The reason is where this sits in the car, I don't know where the sequential lever is going to sit yet. So until I know exactly where that lever is going to be, I don't want to permanently mount this. This won't change, and I can scoot this back. I can just cut this if I need to, just to move this back. So what I'm going to do now is get it in a general position of where it needs to be. But because I have the windshield bar, I need to notch this out so it clears the windshield bar and the welds. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm just going to cut this out, and then this should go in. We'll get this painted up, and then it'll just be mocked up until we get the shifter in, which hopefully will be a few weeks, and it'll be here. All right, so let's get to cutting. All right, so it's just a small section, so I'm going to try to just use a Dremel. We'll see if that works. Of what's going on here. This is going to go right here, so I'm going to have to widen this up. Looks like I will have to go out to here and out back a little bit more. So yep, I'm gonna have to go the whole width of it, and that'll be all right. And I think that'll fit perfectly. So what'll happen is this is gonna go here, and then this is gonna sit like that. So what I was talking about is I don't know where the lever's going to be here, probably center. So I don't know if this is going to have to come back about an inch or so, but until I have that lever, I don't know. And so I don't want to permanently mount it, but I can get it in here at least mocked up. And if I do have to move it, I'm only going to probably move it an inch or so. So it would probably sit right about here. I'll probably sit here, which about 2 inches back. So anyways, we'll figure that out once that shifter lever gets here, and as soon as it does, then we'll know where we can permanently mount that. And all that's going to do is just get 2 rib nuts to the tunnel, and it'll sit like that. So yep, that's where we are. So I'm going to go ahead and widen this up the whole length. Everything should be good. Probably go diagonal even, and it'll probably be perfect. And we'll get it done. All right, now that it's notched, it'll fit right here. We'll put some clamps on there. That'll hold it in place. We don't need this tape anymore. So it'll sit right about there. That'll eventually get bolted down. You got 3 breakers here for the ABS. We'll get a knob for our ABS selector, our traction control selector, our proportion valve, or tensioner, I don't know what you would call it, but it's not a valve. But anyways, we'll put that here, selector here. We have places for switches, some lights, some buttons for the Motec and the screen, and yeah, that'll be what it is. I'm gonna throw some flat black on this, so that way it will just look nice, and that'll be it. All right, so we have this zip tied up just temporarily. We'll eventually probably put hose clamps on there to hold it up. I got this painted black, so this is an idea of how it's going to be. And again, we'll permanently mount it once we get the sequential lever in. But this is just for mock-up. We can start wiring things because that won't change. So now you get an idea of how the console is going to be. And obviously we'll be sitting here. Steering wheel will be here. I'll be up higher because of the seats not in here. And then we have access to start the car, turn off the car, blinkers, headlights, cool suits, fuel pumps, whatever we want to control, we can control from our keypad. These are the breakers, 10, 25, 40. These are breakers for the Bosch system. Again, we'll drill some holes for the dash controls. We'll have toggle switches. We'll need a couple holes for our pedal adjustment and our traction control adjustment. So let me get the dash in here, and then you can see what the cockpit basically is going to look like when we're done, and that will conclude that video. All right, let's do that. Be right back. All right, so here is the C127 screen. We'll just put it in here temporarily so that we can get an idea of what the cockpit's going to look like. All right, so this is how the cockpit will be, minus the seat that I'm not going to put in right now. I just got to put it in and out. But I'll grab the view from over here. All right, so this is going to be the cockpit pretty much from my position. I'll be sitting here. Steering wheel obviously be here. Probably going to get a new GT style steering wheel. That way I can see the screen a little bit better. I don't like the way the Sparco wheel is cutting off the screen, so I'm going to probably just get a GT style one that's cut there. But that's pretty much the cockpit for now, and as we get more done, I'll be sure to document it. That way you can see how it's coming along. So until next time, be sure to subscribe, like, share, and as always, if you do like freedom, you're going to subscribe. I think there's a lot of people that haven't subscribed yet. Just subscribe. Do it. Now. Bye.
Powered by the old shoe.